What up? What up? All right, guys. Hey, you there. Here I come. I'm taking a piss. Here I go. Here I go. All right, a lot of women these days like to be queen bitch, and they've been like either conditioned or programmed to get away from their nurturing side. It's very feminine when you can admit that and actually do an amazing job. It's valuable to a man. But what so many girls try to do these days is be queen bitch and be all cunty, and they're basically running away from their strength. And so many guys are doing the opposite. They're trying to be femininity fucking feeling motherfucker and running away from their strength. All right, so I want to explain to you where massive social downward spirals come from. And I can tell you I've been through some of this shit myself. And I can describe you what I've been through. Mostly it's about life, but we'll see if it relates to you or not. But the basic way I would say it to you is I was started growing up, and I came from a broken home and all that shit. And I was a PA's child and all that shit. Very chaotic environment. And I didn't know why that was happening. I just always wanted to be very peaceful. And I didn't understand why kids would go at each other like that. Or why kids would be viewed as popular if they mocked each other. It seemed like whoever was the meanest became more popular in school. I don't know, I guess maybe it's because they were like coming across as like a leader on some level. But I didn't like that. I just always wanted to be nice. But then I wound up feeling like I was the mean person, so that was weird. But anyway. What the fuck? Hang on. I gotta text her back. I don't want her to have a bad Christmas. I didn't understand why kids mocked each other. My general frame was like, why can't we all just do cool stuff, laugh, play, be friends with each other? I didn't understand why having friends was this big kind of situation you had to deal with. So being a little kid, I was kind of loaded up with negative emotions coming from that shit. I was going into situations being like, man, I wish I just had some friends to play with. And when other kids don't want to do that with you, it pushes you down even further. And it makes like more negative chemicals in your body, like anxiety and fear of people in general. And what that winds up doing is that alienates more people from you. Which starts you, what you see with goth kids is they'll anticipate social failure, and so they'll start self-sabotaging themselves and start dressing in like vampire clothes. And that's kind of cool, but the general place where it's coming from is they're anticipating rejection, and they'll make little cliques around it and things like that. But for those of us that did become goths, which I really kind of didn't, only a little bit, what winds up happening is you get hammered down and hammered down and hammered down. Now this darkness can actually sort of fester inside to the point where, you know, a lot of weird thoughts come in. And sometimes you'll see guys go on these crazy, you know, rampage sprees because they've been rejected so much. And what happened is they'll have this darkness where it's this massive rejection after massive rejection. And it got to the point where it's like this cancer of the mind. And you can think of it as this like low vibration energy kind of thing. And that low vibration energy just kind of congeals in that person's mind until that person actually believes those dark thoughts are their own thoughts. And that shit just takes them over. So you can see that literally this is a downward spiral that you need to take control of. And you have to actually get out there and do a lot of things to change yourself. The way I came at it is I said, okay, I'm going to actually start approaching people and conversing. And what hopefully will happen is when I go out and I converse with people, I'll get a better sense of how to give them a good experience. And when I give them a better experience, they'll like me better. And maybe if they like me better, then I'll start to like myself. So I started going up to people hoping somehow that I'm going to win. And you know, that's really just not happening for me because people can feel weirdness coming off of me that I'm trying to get something from them. So this is actually one of the biggest problems for guys who are starting off with women is because they're coming from a place of like a deficiency, and that deficiency is giving them like a weird vibe. Ooh, what is this? Oh boy. Oh shit.
You are on the fastest route despite some traffic. You should reach your destination by 6:32 p.m.
I'll just cool it out, but I'm kind of emanating this pride, even like little facial mannerisms and stuff. And then the girls get attracted with me doing very little. So it's not checkers, it's like chess. You know, it's more like have fun with different moves. And then by the end of the night, in your ideal world, you'll have good feelings coming out of you. Because she was even prettier than the ones I was messing with. That's usually what would happen, but we'll see if it works. That's not supposed to happen. And being pretty isn't everything, guys. Okay, number one. You are going to get out there and fuck shitloads of girls. You're gonna fuck more girls than your friends. You're gonna rack up numbers. You're gonna fuck hundreds of girls. And when you go out, people are gonna like you. They're gonna give you respect. And god damn it, you're gonna fucking dominate. Or do you do it like, I'm gonna go out. I'm gonna really enjoy talking to people. Maybe I'll meet a girl tonight. If I do, I'm definitely gonna know how to take her home. But also, I'm just gonna have a fun time. There's probably gonna be people cooler than me. People less cooler than me, who cares? Why even consider that frame at all? Let's just go and enjoy ourselves. Accept who we are, be happy and proud of who we are. Somebody's going to be cooler, somebody's going to be better looking. So what? Good for them. You don't need to get any more upset about that than you get upset about people who aren't as cool or good looking as you. If I actually found it's effective, if I actually found that I am going to win, shit effective, I'd probably keep doing. But what I generally found is that kind of frame is not effective. Whenever I get in that frame, essentially what I found is just kind of a weird energy in the body, and with people it winds up turning them off. So people can sense that they're being used as objects. And so what as I found as time went on, that I started getting sporadic successes. And as I got sporadic successes, I'd be like, okay, chill. What are the commonalities? what I found, girls like me being very dominant and hard to get them to come home with me. The other people think that I found is that when I just enjoyed people's company and just enjoyed myself when I went out, that is when I wound up doing the best. Now, the reason why this happens again is anytime you're trying to win or dominate or get something out of it when you're not enjoying socializing, and people can sense that you want something from them, it's kind of weird. So typically that just looks like a low status person who's not doing well, and they're compensating, and they're thinking, I'm not going to go home with that guy because he's fucking weird. But what I want to encourage you is to actually enjoy socializing. And what I want to encourage you to do is get out of this need to win or to gauge yourself. And the number one way that you can get out of that, for God's sake, please do this, is don't view anything like an approach to close batting average. Don't get into that approach to close batting average. You guys did a lot of approaches.
Turn left onto the US 101 North
as
Hollywood
things.
Freeway ramp.
From there, what I see happening is they're not actually enjoying the process. And that ends up alienating people more and more. What I want to wind up doing is coming from a frame that you're already okay. It's not socializing as something to win, it's something to enjoy. It's something like a hobby. So, this is important because, you know, frankly, you're going to be doing a lot of approaching and a lot of socializing if you're going to have success with women. But it's also important because I think it's critical that you would enjoy sex. A lot of times I see guys who want to dominate and they want to win and everything, and these are the guys who least enjoy sex from almost anybody I know.
US 101 North for 2 miles.
It's all about whether they got an orgasm or whether they made her have an orgasm. An orgasm only lasts a small percentage of the time you're having sex, you know. She asked me, where'd you come from? Where are you from? And I say, I grew up in America. So let's actually explore this whole thing with guys being obsessed with sex and this kind of translating into ego and status and self-worth. And I don't really want to discourage you from getting the type of sex you want or enjoying sex or having the kind of experiences you want to have. But what I want to take out is the ego and the self-image out of sex so that you can actually just enjoy socializing, but even more so that you can actually even start to enjoy sex itself. I know in my case, I have a major thing with sex. It's a huge part of my life. I have sex a lot. And the reason why is I really, really know how to enjoy it. I think a lot of guys who literally say they want to have sex are literally just conditioned into believing that, and they don't even actually want sex as much as they think. When I lost my virginity, I remember thinking, oh, it's just going to come in the first 30 seconds. But strangely, surprise, surprise, it took me almost 4 hours to get off. And I can just remember having sex with my girlfriend. Come here, it's just your first time. She had been with a few guys before me. What wound up happening is I'm expecting to pop off like every 2 seconds, and I'm just pounding and pounding and pounding, just waiting for myself to get off. Because I don't want to my first time to have sex and not getting off, and it just took forever and ever and ever. What is that? The big reason why is because I was in my head. I'm logical about it. I don't know how to really enjoy it. Same reason why guys mess with their pickup. They're too logical about it. They don't know how to actually get in the flow and enjoy it. Well, nowadays when I have sex, I find it's like I'm almost in this kind of trance. In the same way that I enjoy public speaking, and I just get in the flow with it, and I'm going to joke with it, and I just get deeper and deeper into the flow, and I start amplifying the flow, and I can actually do hypnosis or social flow into an arousal. I'll wind up having sex many times a day if I wanted to. Imagine if you had, like, say, 2 groups of people. One group of people can watch a movie all the way through, anytime they want. They can just pop in a movie into iTunes or Netflix. And then you have another group of people who always have to go right to the ending. One group of people can watch any movie they want. And another group of people always have to fast forward to the end. Now imagine these 2 people have to meet each other. People who is abundant for them to watch movies. And then there's the other group of people who always feel like they're never going to see the end. Man, imagine this group. Man, I want to see the end of that movie. Man, I want to see the end of that movie. And those people merge up with these people who always get to see the end of the movie. And those people come over here. What happens is they're like, hey, fast forward to the end. Hey, fast forward to the end. I want to see what happens at the end. And this group of people over here is like, yeah, just enjoy the entire movie. The entire movie is what makes it significant. That's what makes the whole movie good. The end is just a climax. What is that group? This group is women. They're going to watch the movie whenever the fuck they want. And this movie is men who often feel like they're getting deprived of seeing the end of the damn movie. Now, women are often frustrated with men because they're just like, hey, just relax. You'll get to see the whole movie. If you just watch the whole thing, it'll make it more significant to you. The ending will be better if you just enjoy the whole thing. And what women actually want is for men to just increase the chemistry. Now, guys get aroused a little bit more easily. Guys have a dick. And you just put the dick in a hole and it stimulates and it's just like, bam. Guys get stimulated super easily. Women, on the other hand, get stimulated through their minds. So as their minds are put through different emotions, maybe the foundation, going up and down, body temperature, going up and down, sadness, laughter, craziness, connection, that kind of stuff, that gets them really aroused so that when they start having sex with a dude, it winds up getting them off. So a woman wants to get off and they want to get aroused. They bypass the whole thing so they never get to see the end of the movie. I love you too, she might say. I want to have sex with you and never call you again. She would actually prefer that, to be honest. I want to have sex with you and never call you again. I'm not going home with you. That's one of the best pickup lines ever. So I want to have sex with you and never call you again. You're sweet though. That's actually what I prefer. God damn. I'd expand a little on this movie watching analogy from this. I use the movie The Matrix as an example. If you see the movie The Matrix, this is a spoiler if you haven't. You remember at the end of the movie where Keanu Reeves' character, he puts his fist right through Mr. Smith. And Mr. Smith explodes. And then he calls up the bad guys on the phone. And he gives them kind of a cocky speech. And then he flies through the air. And Rage Against the Machine starts to play. And and he like flies off. And if you can just remember the chills that you felt in your spine, you felt that, and I want you to really think about that. Well, what was it that actually caused that emotion or that release that you felt at the climax? It was the buildup. So a movie like The Matrix, it maybe starts to go in slow, and then it pulls you in, and it pulls you in, and it actually brings you into sort of a hypnotic trance where you're completely involved in that movie to the point where whenever there's anything like these kind of spikes, it has more significance to you. From a woman's perspective, what a guy is trying to do is like he's almost trying to skip over all that, and he's trying to hop right to the part where Keanu Reeves just goes boom to the guy, and the guy explodes, and then he flies off. And it's almost as if the guy's trying to do that again and again and again.
Will be on the left.
Cop out when guys say that about girls. What they're getting, in my opinion, is certain tendency that guys have that are real. And the whole thing that guys have is go to the end of the movie. Go to the end of the movie. Not being able to enjoy the whole thing. Mighty. A reframe. Just take this as a thought experiment. The basic reframe is that what makes sex exciting is the actual buildup. You start talking, you banter, maybe you kid her, maybe you won't kid her. You start to connect. The phone or texting, whatever it is.
Your destination is on the left.
And then the initial kind of couple rushes up against her, holding her hand or whatever. Those first few kisses, you're slowly getting yourself aroused. In fact, if you actually stop to think about it, one of the reasons why guys get sick of fucking a girlfriend they have who might be extremely hot is because she allows you to go right to the sex, and there's not a lot of buildup. So you can have a super smoking hot girlfriend, and you're glad you're fucking her, and it's literally because you don't know how to arouse yourself. I've had experiences where I've met girls out, and the back and forth and the flirtation, am I gonna get her, am I not gonna get her, and all the emotions has got me so aroused, by the time we go to have sex, I'm out of my fucking mind.